Chatham Charter School is a small K-12 charter school in Chatham County, North Carolina, right in the heart of the Piedmont. Since school's out for the summer, I had an opportunity to sit down with the head of school at Chatham Charter, Dr. John Eldridge, and ask him a few questions about Chatham Charter School. Question number one, can you tell me the number one misconception you see other people have about charter schools?
Sure, probably the one I run into the most is that we're mistaken for being like a private school as opposed to a public school. There are private and corporate charter schools out there, but we are a public charter school. And so how we are funded and how people get into our school is probably the biggest issue that we run into. And a lot of folks still feel like they pay tuition to come here, which is not true. We receive per pupil allocation from the state and from the local LEA or local education agency. And that basically is what gives us our budget. So trying to get people to understand that we are not associated with the public schools in our area, like we are not a part of Chatham County Schools, but we are our own LEA from the school, the state school board. We work for them. We're not some public or private agency that's out there that's just operating on our own, and we're not charging tuition for students to come here. But that's probably the biggest one that I run into.
Okay. Can you follow that up and tell me sort of one advantage and one disadvantage of not being associated with the county school system?
Sure. So probably the biggest, as someone that's worked both in the school and the central office, I think in this position, the biggest advantage is also the disadvantage in that we don't have a bunch of bureaucracy. Like if we want to move something at this school, we don't have to go through a huge process to make it happen. We basically, as a staff and as an administrative unit, do what we feel like is best for our school. We do have a board of directors, but basically our board of directors are to take care of the finances of the school. It's up to our administration and the staff to make all the academic decisions. So being responsible for those is great because then we get to do what we feel like is going to improve student achievement. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, though, is that since we are our own entity, when it comes for initiatives support with training, with materials, supplies, that kind of stuff, we're on our own, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're going to do some major initiative like last year we did Eureka Math, well, we don't have a math curriculum department to come in and do training for the staff. We're responsible for all that training. Mm-hmm. So while it's nice to have the autonomy, it also is a detriment at some points where not having the support staff that you need to make those things happen.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so one of the big things with charter schools is that they need to sort of justify their existence. So can you tell me a little bit about what this school does? What void does it fill? Why does it need to exist?
Yeah, so we call that our niche. Every charter school should have a niche that it's serving that the area does not either have the capability to do or it's not their focus. So one thing that I tell people when I speak about where we are, we're surrounded by good schools. So Jordan Matthews, Chatham Central, some of the schools in this area, great schools, right? I was the principal at Chatham Central, honestly, and so one thing that I know is that they have a diverse set of things that they meet for the student needs, whether it's FFA or carpentry or whatever. They have a multitude of things. Our niche is to get kids ready for the skilled workforce or for college or military experiences. And the way we chose to do that is by using the North Carolina Career and College Promise, which was curriculum created by the state years ago. It's an opportunity for students to earn dual credit. So they're earning high school credit at the same time as earning collegiate credit. So we have kids that are graduating from high school with as many as what we've had so far is 47 credits that are transferable inside of the University of North Carolina system and actually are widely accepted even outside the state and in some private schools. So we have students that are graduating from high school that have options now. I can go finish my associate's degree in a shorter amount of time. I can go into the military because I have so many credits. I go up in rank, which is a pay raise. I can complete a certificate and go right into a high-skilled
job, like we've had some do with welding and auto repair because they were able to take those courses while they were in high school.
Yeah.
So now they graduate and go right into a high-paying job.
And then we've had kids that are like this year, we've had our first 3 students graduate from college that graduated from high school 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're now either going into a master's program and have the chance to finish before some students finish their bachelor's that start at the same time as them, or just graduate and go into a job in the field that they went to school to study. So, you know, that's kind of what we've tried to do here is our job is to get you prepared for those opportunities, and that's our sole focus. That either meets your needs and you choose to come here, or it doesn't and you take advantage of one of the programs offered in the high schools that are in this area. And that's generally what charter schools should be doing, is filling a niche in their community that may not already exist in the public schools that are there.
All right, so last question. If you have a family that's thinking about sending their student to school here, it could be elementary school, middle school, high school, doesn't matter. What is your kind of 30-second pitch to them about why Chatham Charter School is a great place to learn and grow?
So I think what I would say is that we're trying to focus not on just the academic needs of our students, we're trying to also focus on the social, emotional wellness, and also what we call the unwritten curriculum of teaching kids how to interact with each other, how to deal with stress, how to speak to adults, how to represent themselves. So we're not just going to meet the needs of where they are academically, we're also going to be shooting to meet their social, emotional needs, and also to prepare them for the real world, where it's not just
Someone's going to always advocate for you. You got to be willing to advocate for yourself.
Great, thanks so much.
Yes, sir.